Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Where Heartbreak Feels Good podcast. I'm your host, Edgar Ortega. We're going to be talking about all the things that we watched on the month of May from TV and film. And to help me talk about everything that we watched is my co-host, Josh D. Woodbury.
Hello, everyone. We're back. I'm back. And just gotta say, that intro is so good. I did a good job with that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And joining us again, as always, is our co-host, Evan Harris.
Glad to be back. We're back. May was fun. You know, my birthday happened. I'm 1 year closer to death. It was good.
How old? Tell the audience.
Great, yeah.
I'm 55 years, 27 years old, 27 years young. Even though a lot of my students
Too old for DiCaprio.
Yeah, all of my students are like, "Oh, Mr. Harris, you're so old. How are you not married yet?" I'm like, "I'm 27, chill." But yeah, fun times. Yeah, I had a good month. We were talking about it off stream, but like, there's a lot of great TV that was happening this month of May. Star Wars finales. There was a lot of good stuff happening, but then movies as well. Blockbusters, a lot of them. So,
I mean,
Is it?
a couple
Is
of
it?
them.
It's only three. It's only
Little
three.
Mermaid. I mean, there's only been 4 weeks. There's only 4 weeks in a month.
Wait,
so,
Fast
you know.
10, Little Mermaid, what else?
We technically already talked about Guardians, but that was in May.
Oh, yeah.
And Boogeyman for me.
That's all
I watched it on the
blockbusters,
31st.
Exactly.
I mean, Stephen King.
Yeah, but it's like smaller.
smaller scale for sure. Bad release date. Like, come on, guys. Like, pick a better release date. You can destroy.
I mean, it is trying to do counter programming with Spider-Verse. Like horror and
could have been
superheroes.
better. I feel like it could have done like in the 20s if it was released somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like
August,
2019
September.
or something like that. Yeah, August, September. August is like blank unless you want to go see Meg 2. Yeah.
Didn't like we were talking like shit about the Meg during our blockbuster box office draft, but like didn't that movie make like a lot of money overseas? Like
It did. I mean, that's why I didn't bring it up for, the Hail Mary, or not the Hail Mary, the like the negative whatever factor if we beat shows, whatever. Because the Meg made a lot of money. It's going to make a lot of money again, especially with that Chinese box office. It's going to be huge. I'm still thinking Haunted Mansion is going to
Yeah,
flop.
that's true, Nathan. Evil Dead was kind of like pretty good counter to Mario.
Evil Dead was really good. That was a good release date. Evil Dead did good next to Mario. Very good point. Evil Dead also an established franchise, unlike Boogeyman.
yeah.
Yeah.
But well, since we already brought up Evil Dead, I don't know if you want to talk about it, Josh, since you finally watched
Yeah,
bro,
so
we saw some
I
movies.
watched the first Evil Dead last month. Talked a bit about it then. Then I watched, because I knew I wanted to see Rise before it left theaters. I watched Evil Dead 2. And oh my. That is one of the most bad shit movies I've seen. I loved it.
Mhm. The physical comedy in that movie is incredible.
It's so good. Like that whole middle act is this like him within the house starting to figure shit out. Like with the laughing scene is insane.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, that whole
So
like
good.
10-minute sequence with him just battling his own hand, was incredible. Yeah, I loved it.
Raimi cooked there. That's all. That's what I'll say. A lot of
for sure.
cooking going on.
Did you watch
Then
Army?
I haven't watched Army yet because I knew
Oh, wow.
I wanted to watch 2013 before Rise, and I
Mhm.
didn't have much time.
Okay.
So yeah, I watched 2013. Now that is a film, a masterpiece,
Peak.
best Evil Dead movie. Some might say.
I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because Evil Dead 2, I really respect like the practicality of it and what it goes for. But I think 2013 is just a better movie all around.
That third act in Evil Dead 2013 is just everything
incredible.
we love about horror, right? Like, it's like a longer version of the Nope sequence where in Nope, like the blood's running down to the house. In Evil Dead 2013, you have blood covering the entire set, where it's just like blanketing the entire like front yard of the house with blood, and it's crazy. Then Jane Levy's performance is masterful. I think she's fantastic.
So good.
In
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2013, and the character work in that movie,
And
like,
then
it's great.
it's really good. Yeah, the dynamic with all the friends, and yeah, it's just good shit. But then we did Rise, and like Rise is really good, but they
Really
very
good.
much tried to copy that third act, especially with the blood
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah, in a sense.
But you said Rise, I really liked it. I really loved this new. It felt really fresh because of the perspective of like the mother and her family, and
yeah.
they went way darker than I thought they would. Should we do spoilers?
Sure, let's do spoil.
Yeah,
Let's
it's been a
spoil.
minute.
Let's talk
I did
about-
not
yeah.
think they would turn to the kids at all.
Yeah,
That
Really?
it shocked me. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just say it's Raimi and like it's kind of fucked up, but like
I'm
you don't really
with
see
you,
that
dude.
much in modern horror, like kids being turned into like zombies or whatever.
For sure, I'm with you there. Right? I think like what made Rise so special was because it had that family dynamic. All the other ones just like, oh, these are college friends. Who gives a fuck about them? But like,
Yeah.
this is a family, and you're instantly gravitated towards them. You're like, okay, like, I don't want this little girl to die. I don't want the sister to die. Like, when I first walked in, I thought the middle sister was going to be the main character, but then she gets turned early on. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
she's a goner. The brother,
It's just I
goner.
won't say kids don't turn into zombies, but like ones that are the main characters are following usually don't end up on that side, you know?
exactly.
And the way that they
yeah.
like half of the family just dies and becomes deadites is really cool.
It was gnarly, yeah, and
Yeah.
I loved everybody's performance there. I think the main heroine, I keep forgetting her name. It's like Liv something, I don't know.
Beth.
Beth,
Beth, yeah.
sure, that works. She was great. Loved her.
And Alyssa Sutherland as like the mother was insane. She was so
man.
good. Like the stuff she was
Awesome.
doing, and the shots of when it's like in the perspective of the door, like the eye in
And
the
the
door.
peephole.
The people. That's like the best
People,
sequence in
it's
the
so
movie.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best.
Yeah.
That was
They-
fantastic.
Everybody overhyped the cheese grater, but that's the highlight of the movie in terms of like set pieces for me.
Mhm. There's some good set pieces though, like all throughout, like and really good stairs and like. Who's the director for this one?
Ooh,
they
I forget his name.
Lee Cronin.
Yeah, great direction.
Great job.
Great direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like all these Evil Dead movies have all had 3 different directors, but like great direction across the board. That's like the best thing
Mhm.
about the Evil Dead franchise. Like the direction is so precise, so cool. But yeah, I loved everything. The whole elevator sequence was great. The whole parking garage thing was insane. The keyhole sequence was awesome. Yeah, it was wild. Wild. I loved it.
All right. Now what else do we want to talk about?
Evan? Last time you and I wanted to talk about something, but we saved it for this month. You want to talk
Did
about
we?
a polite society?
Oh yeah, did we save it? Okay,
Oh.
sure. Yeah, so Polite Society. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. Fantastic. Girl in Britain wants to be like a stunt performer, right? Like a
Stunt woman.
stunt actor, stunt woman. And her connection with her sister is like kind of the heart of the movie. And the sister gets into this whole marriage thing and chaos ensues. I loved the hell out of this one where the relationship between her sister is so complex and so heartwarming. It's a great coming of age film filled with all this great comedy, great stunts, the action's over the top in the best way possible. Like it's so imaginative, so creative, just from the beginning too. It's just instantly likable. And the main actress was really, really, really good. I really want to see what she
She's
does
really
next.
great.
Because I really bought into like her whole plight and her whole adolescent issues growing up, like with her whole parents.
Yeah.
You got to be this, but then she wants to be something else. They really played into that trope really well here. It was a blast.
This was a
Definitely one of the
Sundance
more-
movie, right?
I believe so.
Was it?
So,
Maybe
yeah.
it was from a festival. I don't remember. which one
Sundance sounds
exactly.
about right. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most creative movies I've seen in a long while. Like it was just very creative. I liked it.
Yeah, I think like watching the movie, seeing it play out, you think it's gonna be very predictable, and in a sense, it is pretty predictable. But there's something that happens like in the half point of the movie that just
Yeah.
goes insane bananas, and it's so much fun.
It's a blast. Like, yeah, you're right. Like you think this is your typical like coming of age action comedy kind of movie, but then the plot kicks in and you're like, oh, wow, we're going there. It's so goofy, but it's not goofy that it takes me out of it. Like I completely bought it. Um, and yeah, it perfectly nails that comedic out there, not almost nonsensical plot point, but it works, completely works,
Yeah,
because you buy into like this overzealous, like overly comedic universe that they're living in here with the action and stuff like that and stunts, all anchored by again that really great relationship between the sisters. I really loved it. You don't get
yeah,
a lot of
and
like these deep sisterly bonds in movies these days.
yeah. A lot of people compare it to like Edgar Wright movies, and even though I kind of see it like that same kind
Mm,
of tone and kind of like similar humor, like I don't know, this
yes,
movie is just like so unique in like in its own style. Like one probably one of my favorite scene of the entire movie is that like Bollywood dance number that happens in the middle of the third act. That's just so like
loved it.
colorful and beautiful, and it's just like again like this movie is just a ton of fun. Like if you have the
Yeah,
chance to like watch it, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere or if it's gonna be on
I think
VOD,
man.
it's
but like
I oh just looked it up. It's under focus, so it should be on Peacock soon. Which
I
I'm
think like
excited for that.
I think it would blow up on Peacock. I think it's one of
Yeah.
those movies that's just so much fun. A lot of people can just like have a blast watching it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check this one out, but I just didn't have time. Just there's been so many movies lately to attach in theaters.
So many
Um,
movies.
but yeah, it was Sundance, which is interesting for this type of movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm excited
Perfect
to check it
crowd.
out eventually.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that was May 6th for me. Um,
May
what
4
else
for
is
me.
there? Oh, my birthday. What do we have here?
Should we do divisions right now?
Let's go into Vision. Speaking of May
Do it.
4th,
We were
let's jump
we
into
didn't do it last
TV.
month because we were gonna save it for a standalone thing, but that ended up not working out. So let's just talk about it now.
Talk about it now. Star Wars
All right,
Vision.
let's start with what is everyone's favorite short of season 2?
Ooh, great question, Josh. 'Cause I think, as a whole, I think season 2 had a lot more consistently great.
Yeah, I think
Shorts.
overall it's the strongest. I do think there's like a couple from season 1 that I prefer to most of these, but overall it's the better bunch for sure.
Yeah, I think they're all thematically connected more so than the first one as well. But anyways, Screecher's Reach episode 2. Ooh, it is fantastic.
So
It's
good. The vibes are
ungodly cool.
insane.
The
The
vibes, the
ending is
storytelling,
quite that is like shocking and like
like it's a
so dark. I love
it's a
it.
dark heroine's journey that I absolutely love. And again, it keeps, and I say this after every episode, but it keeps the core tenets of why I love Star Wars. It's a very Star Warsy telling.
That's like
tale. Yeah.
that's prevalent throughout like most of these.
Like,
Yeah.
no matter if it ends dark or it ends light, it's still very much a Star Wars tale, and it brings home a core theme of Star Wars, regardless if it's a horror, comedy, musical kind of episode. And I love that about Vision season 2. But yeah, Screecher's Reach was just perfect for me. I loved it.
Yeah,
That ending, I
Cartoon
was just
Saloon went off with this one because they previously did Wolf Walkers and a few other movies, but I loved Wolf Walkers, so I was really excited to see what they would do here.
yeah. I gotta watch the other Cartoon Saloon movies because I have
Yeah.
not. This is my first little experience.
Animation is gorgeous, and like, the vibes are insane. The music's incredible, and the twist the story goes in like such a little amount of screen time, like or runtime, very good.
Yeah, it's definitely the one I watched the most. What about you guys? What's your favorite?
I'd probably say Spy Dancer is mine.
Ooh, that's my top 3. Let's go.
That's
my
just
number
like
3.
such a fresh take on Star Wars, but also like fundamentally Star Wars.
Yes.
And it's just so cool. The designs are really cool, and the
Oh,
twist, you know what I'm talking about. The twist.
Oh, it's so
Really caught me
good.
off guard.
It made a great story into a perfect story, in my opinion. And again, I like how Creatures Reach is very much an Irish folk tale mixed in with Star Wars in terms of like the old lady in the cave kind of thing and Irish folk tales. And what's it called? In Spy Dancer, I think it's La Carcet, is the studio, and it's very much about like the British occupation or the Nazi occupation of France, um, and told through that kind of lens and that kind of culture, that kind of background, mixed in with Star Wars. It was just so fascinating to get that kind of perspective. I love the whole avenue that they went there.
It's the thing that's makes Vision so special is like adding so many different perspectives into this universe and seeing what different cultures and countries their take on what this franchise means to them, and that's what makes it so interesting and so exciting as an initiative.
I
And
agree,
the
yeah.
Spy Dancer really captured everything like about why Visions is like special and what its purpose is, and I loved it.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
quick again with Spy Dancer, like there's a certain action sequence towards the latter half of the sequence or the episode, and it's just stunning. Like the way she's falling down the pole and then attacking the stormtroopers, and then just the way it's just so fluid but still
It's
very
just
much
so
comprehensible.
cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then the way the shadows worked in Spy Dancer as well, like when she's looking at the
Mhm.
man with the eye, I'm just like, holy shit! Like, man, it's so good. And then the ending is
Yeah.
just peak, 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 peak.
Hmm. What about you,
I think
Edgar?
yeah, well, before I move on to my favorite, I just wanted to say about the Spy Dancer that even though it doesn't need it, like it kind of reminded me of the Ninth Jedi in the sense that I would love to see like a some sort of a continuation just
Continuation.
because the story
Yeah.
is just so
Oh,
gripping.
yes,
Um, but yeah, moving on to my favorite. I think my favorite just because it's like it just made me feel happy. It was a Owl song
That's my number
yes,
like that.
two.
great.
Yeah, first of all, I'm a sucker for like kind of like stop motion animation. That's why
Hmm.
this one, In the Stars, and I Am Your Mother is like some of my favorites of season two. Um, but yeah, our song is just like just so beautiful, and like the fact that our main character doesn't really have much dialogue is just mostly just like us following her in her journey of like self-discovery and what having the force means for her is just like again it's just very special and magical, and again it just made me feel happy, and that's probably what's my favorite out of the bunch.
Yeah, that one's stunning and like absolutely gorgeous visually and like thematically.
I
And
agree.
the
Yeah.
the design of the Jedi especially is like one of the
Yeah,
best in Star Wars. So
It's
good.
probably
sick.
my favorite, the best shot of that is when she's like healing the Kyber and you see the mountains surrounding
Oh,
her and her like levitating in the air. Oh, it's
gorgeous.
just great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
our
music's
song,
great too.
our song. Yeah, I was just about to say the music in our song is so
Yeah.
impeccable. I loved it. Another great like. That's why I love Creatures Reach, Spy Dancer, Our Song. These heroine journeys in these episodes are just fantastic. Where it's like the cliche, you have like the father really wanting what's best for her, and it's not like you're like evil father, like you must stay here. Like no, he really cares for her and cares for her well being, even though she knows she has like this special ability that she's trying to control. But then through that, like she meets the Jedi, she meets or she saves the day as well. And just her connection to the Kyber, to the force around her, the way the force is interpreted through music, very much High Republic connection
Yeah,
to
yeah,
her.
Avar Chris.
Avar
Some
Chris, like she
vibes
sees the
there.
force through music. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I like that kind of vibe as well. Really cool. But yeah, Our Song really connected with me as well. I just ending Vision season 2 on Our Song and
It's
just
a great note to end on.
it's a great note to end on.
Especially
I
compared
agree.
to season one where they ended on Atakiri, which is
Yeah,
depressing as
people
fuck.
are like, oh, yeah, you're like, oh, my heart, yeah.
um, but yeah,
um,
those three we talked about are my top three of this
oh,
season,
that's
which is
cool.
like our minds.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
shout, yeah, Edgar, you can go real quick.
Oh, I was just gonna say that like shout out like I don't think this is like in a lot of people's favorite, but like it's something that kind of really did like stuck with me. Like the pit episode, like it's very like grim and just like super bleak, but it fits. Again, we've been talking about how whether it goes dark or light, like it still feels like Star Wars, and that ending of the pit is just like
Yeah.
it's just so emotional.
I will argue the pit is probably, even outside of Visions, one of the most real Star Wars stories I've ever witnessed. It felt so real with the, the
Very grounded.
unjust prison system in America, and just vibing with like the plight of African Americans, Black people in society. Like all the people down there were Black, and they were struggling and forced to work in unjust labor. And it was just, it really hit home, and it's very hard to watch. Like that episode is just really hard hitting. When that happened, when that death
Yeah.
happened, my breath left me. I was just like,
That's
we're
like
really doing this? Like, wow.
Yeah, that's what's so special about this season. Like that's the core theme of what these Dispatches episodes is, like the injustices of the Empire and
Yes.
what I'm trying to say, fascism throughout like different cultures and their what's happens to like what is happening to them because of it and what they're doing because of it. Like it's really cool that they had that core, like that line that weave throughout all of these.
Yeah, and then other stories I also loved. Special shout out to my favorite studio amongst a bunch, Studio Mir, who did one of my favorite shows of all time, Legend of Korra. They did Journey to the Dark Head this season, and I fell head over heels with Journey to the Dark Head.
That was actually my least favorite of this bunch. It's still good,
wow.
but
Yeah,
it just
I
felt
love
like
Journey.
not as unique compared
That's
to
fair.
like the other
In
ones we
terms of
got. Maybe
animation
because it's
style.
very much like Vision season 1. Like,
Yeah.
to me.
Which is why I'm on the opposite end, which is why I appreciated it, because it felt so anime. Like I'm a huge anime fan. It felt very much probably the most anime connected of the bunch. Studio Mirror does a lot of anime on Netflix and outside of that as well. But I love the story between both the Jedi and the mechanic, who comes from like a Force related past, and then the issue with the Jedi facing his fears. Then she has to face her own fears, and that connection that they had, the banter that they had. It felt so like awesome just to witness. Like I would have 5,000 stories with these two going off, during this whole Jedi Sith conflict, doing their whole thing, connecting with each other. There's a sequence at the end where there's like falling outside of the whole both of those two temples things, whatever. They're falling. There's beautiful sunset in the background. It reminded me of the Great Escape sequence in Weathering with You, if you guys have seen that. But it's very much a Weathering with You, Mikato Shinkai like reference there. They're both falling, hands connected. It's just so warm, heartwarming. I just loved the hell out of Journey to the Dark Head. And then the action was spectacular in the way that she has to find balance. Balance was also a very big core theme. Journey to the Dark Head really connected with episode 1, Sith, where the main ex-Sith was attempting to find balance of her own as well. And like
I loved how like
was so
simple and meditative Sith was.
Oh yeah, Sith reminded me a lot of non-spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse, but just like there's a certain character's background that changes with emotion, and that really.
And I think it's the most visually stunning out of this batch.
I would agree. Yeah, like
it's so cool.
It's legit like a water painting in a way, like the painting, the emotions, the walls, like they change. They literally change as she's walking. Like the setting changes from frame to frame. It was so cool.
And if you got an aspect ratio shift, I'm in. And this got a good one.
It was really good. Yeah. So yeah, Visions overall. Vision season 2, spectacular on every level.
You want to shout out
In
the Stars was like really poignant and beautiful, and probably the best music of this batch. Right, I still listen to it. It's so good. That main theme,
that main climactic score. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I gotta listen to that more.
Then I Am Your Mother from Aardman. I just really love the humor and the core narrative and the style of it. It was so cool.
Yes. Big win for Wedge fans out there. Yeah, that was good.
And the kid with the weird bangs, loved it.
Hilarious. Yeah, I loved a lot of these. Yeah. I also, special shout out, I dived deep into Vision Season 2 with Nathan. So if you want to check that out at Nathan Rojas' channel, we did like 2+ hours of Vision Season 2. Yeah, what's next?
I think we talked about some of these in May in the last episode, right? Like Peter Pan, Wendy, and Margaret.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I saw Peter Pan and Wendy. Let's talk about Peter Pan and Wendy.
What do you think?
I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. What was interesting about Wendy? I'm vibing with it. The pacing was a little bit all over the place for me. I was like getting a little bit bored in the middle of the movie.
That's fair.
What was so interesting was that I love Peter Pan, the 2003 version. I'm one of those kids that grew up watching that 2003 live action. That was my like Peter Pan movie. But also even incorporating like the animated classic. Those movies have a strong connection between Peter and Wendy. And I just felt like that connection between Peter and Wendy wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be in this movie. I felt like Peter had a much closer and more interesting relationship with Hook, which isn't bad. Like most movies don't have Peter and Hook having that deep of a relationship.
I think that's what makes this kind of a bit more interesting.
I agree. Like that was the best part of the movie, just Peter and Hook's relationship. I was like, oh wow, we're going there. So I kind of vibed like Jude Law's performance as Hook was really good. I liked Peter as well, but yeah, that past that they had, that connection really like made this movie unique and different, along with David Lowery's incredible direction.
Yeah, and I just keep going. I'm surprised how much I love this movie. I keep going back to that first entrance to Neverland sequence and like the first flight. It's just breathtaking with the Daniel Hart's score, which is something else. It's so good.
It's really good. The whole first sequence as they're going in between the realms, and then they're in the skies, so they're feeling the reflective water. It was really stunning. I really liked it.
Now, what segue from a great Disney live action remake to
we're going there.
Oh, we're going there. Let's go.
Let's go there. To another great live action,
a little mid-made, if you will.
Oh God. Hey,
Awkwafina, your queen.
Let me just get on board. I did not like Awkwafina in this movie that much.
We'll let you go first.
Okay, sure. But let me get on my soapbox real quick. People are dishing out on Awkwafina. I think she's not doing great work in this movie. It's not my favorite. But overall, in her career, I think she's doing solid stuff across the board.
I agree. But like, I'm not an Awkwafina hater like some people are. But in this movie,
I'm just saying people aren't hating on her. I'm just saying people should stop hating on her. Anyways, yeah, she's not great in this movie. I don't like Scuttlebutt that much, but it's like 2 minutes long. It's not that annoying for me. Overall, though, I liked this movie a lot. Like, I think this is. Like, I'm also in the minority where I really, really, really liked Aladdin as well, the 2019's Aladdin movie. I thought that was a blast as well. But this movie, I think it had a strong sense of magic. The connection between Ariel and Eric is fantastic. Probably the strongest, most emotional connection. Oh, definitely.
It is the best thing in the movie. I will say that.
It's definitely the most emotional connection I've had in these Disney live action remakes outside of, Cruella and Cinderella and the princess, I forget his name, the prince in 2015 Cinderella. They had a really good connection as well. But I love all the new additions that they made with Ariel.
You didn't like Dan Stevens and Emma Watson?
Not really. And I liked Emma Watson a lot. I didn't love Dan Stevens that much. I don't know if that's
he wasn't great.
I don't know. I wasn't there with the.
You didn't like Donald Glover and Beyonce?
Where were they? Oh, I was like, what movie? What the fuck is Donald Glover and Beyonce?
Exactly.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Donald Glover, huh?
Yeah.
And Beyonce is Nala. Surprisingly,
that was crazy. Wait, Donald Glover was Simba? That was him?
Yeah.
Huh.
What a waste.
What a waste. Holy shit. Yeah. But overall, yeah, like I think I'm gonna borrow what Edgar said in his review as well. I love the second act of this movie. I like a lot of the above water sequences with Eric and Ariel. I think the relationship. What I always liked about Little Mermaid was that Ariel has a fantastic arc. It's very classic, very good heroine's arc. But I also liked through her coming of age arc, she also has a very good dynamic with her father, and I think the father stuff is also very good in this movie. I thought Javier Bardem was very
Is it
solid.
though?
I think it is. I think Javier Bardem is solid. He didn't blow me away. It just isn't his best work. But I liked his connection with Ariel. I think it really worked. There was a lot of parallels to the animated movie in terms of what he's going through. There's also some additional lines that he gets to say to Ariel towards the end of the movie that wasn't in the animated movie that I think really worked.
I'm sorry.
Did they though?
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the reminding myself of that shot of Javier Bardem just floating in the water
It was
Which
so
one?
bad. At the
at
end.
the end. Javier
Zoom away.
Bardem like in the
Oh,
water,
yeah.
like when he comes to the surface.
It's not great, but I like what he had to say to her in terms of like because
No, it's
they added
good.
more
It's good, but
they added more context to his like decision making in this movie. And I haven't just rewatched The Little Mermaid again like 2 weeks ago before we saw the movie. I liked his relationship with Ariel in that movie, and I like how he talks to the crab, saying like, "Am I doing a good thing as a father here? What should I really be doing?" But I think he gets. I think the filmmakers, Rob Marshall and other writers, added a lot more context to him. There were some more individual shots with the king that I liked around here. What else do I like about this? Oh, slight negative. I didn't love the kiss the girl sequence. I think they went too
Really?
comedic. I
super
think they
boring.
went.
I think that was my favorite musical sequence in this movie.
Oh, interesting. I think they went too comedic instead of romantic. I think the classic one is way more on the romantic
Too much
end of things.
Aquafina.
Yeah,
I mean,
Aquafina
besides Octafina, I liked it.
and David Diggs, I think they were trying to be more like comedic with the whole sequence, more so than just
Yeah.
like let these two kiss. But also, I really like the Under the Sea rendition this time around.
No.
I love the Under the Sea.
I'll let
rendition.
you finish, but no.
I loved it. I think what David Diggs with Under the Sea was fantastic. I like that Ariel got to put her own version into it at the very
It makes
end.
no sense.
How does that not make any sense?
Why would? Okay, do you want to finish before I start my rant?
No, you go.
Okay, why would? So this is like if Belle started singing during Be Our Guest. It makes no sense. Why would Sebastian's informing her of everything about the sea? Why would she start singing like she's in agreement when she wasn't before?
No, the song's all about like him saying all the great things that are under the sea.
Yeah, but like
She agreed that there's some great things under the sea. Under the
Didn't work for
sea,
me.
under the sea. Like there's
you have the
all
lyric
these
about the
things-
hot crustacean band, and there was no hot crustacean band.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
There was no fish band.
Not chef. No chef.
No,
I'm not worried about a
dude,
fish
it's
band.
Yeah,
Fish
that's the
band,
whole
I
point of the
don't
fucking original one. It was
Is
fish
it?
playing music. Yeah, it was
know.
pretty cool.
the crab, what's his name? Sebastian's the main point of Under the Sea, not the fish band.
No, but yeah, but it's just another instance of a Disney live action remake having a song say something and not even showing it.
That's fair.
Like, can you feel the love tonight during the day?
That was more of a travesty than this one. That was
It's the same thing.
that was sickening. This one actually had a good song. I think the song overall was very fun.
I think the best song is the Part of Your World, and I think one of the reasons why I liked it is because it didn't really rely. I mean, I'm pretty sure they relied on CGI, but like that whole sequence looks like almost like they were in a stage, like in a theater, and they were playing with lights, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like it. Besides Haley just having a fantastic voice in and of itself, so.
So the thing about this movie for me is that like I don't think it has the magic of the original, and I think it's just I don't want to say this word, but it's a bit soulless for me personally, and it's just I think almost everyone was miscast.
Wow.
The added stuff didn't work for me. I do like Jonah Howard Keena's Eric. I thought he was great, and what they added with him, his little bits with him was good.
Oh, real quick, he gets an original song in here, and I loved it. I
You
love
loved
this
it?
song.
I
I
fucking
love
hated
this song.
it.
I
It was
love
so
this song.
bad. It
I
was such a bad song.
see. I disagree. I loved it, and people hated the Beast original song and Beauty and the Beast. I loved that
It was
one as
also
well.
bad.
I loved that one as well. I thought
These
it
they
added
need
a
to
lot.
stop. Stop these songwriters.
They
adding
have to add
terrible music.
original things
Lin-Manuel
for like,
Miranda.
they
It
have
was
to add
bad
something
though.
original,
Like,
but I really like
what
it.
was it? Fucking Uncharted Waters. Who did the shit?
Wow. I mean, I thought it added more to his arc because in the animated one, it's all about him getting married.
Okay,
him
it
getting
does
married.
add it to it, but
this one is
the
adding a
actual
lot.
song I did not like. It doesn't work for me.
Okay, you're wrong.
Can we all agree that we needed like a prequel, like how of like Tridents and like Ursula's parents, how the fuck that one was the mermaid and the other
I
was
was thinking
squid?
the same thing. I'm like, okay, first of all, wait, you're related to Ursula now, and then
Well, she
second of all-
wasn't original, right?
I don't think so.
Right.
I mean,
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a
I
while,
just
but-
rewatched it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure she was just like a random witch that you shouldn't talk to. But in this one also, like, he has all these different daughters. I'm like, hey yo, like again, he had different daughters in the OG one, but they're all
Court of
like
King.
they were all like white. They were all white mermaids. And then in this one, they're all like Asian, black, white. I'm like, whoa,
Hello, HOL. Important HOL.
hello, what's up? But yeah, in this one, there's so many different daughters. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah,
How-
that Triton's a fucking man whore.
He's getting around.
I mean, it is Javier Bardem. I get it.
Is he like
Yeah.
Al Pacino over here cracking out kids all the time?
De Niro.
Yeah. Yeah, De Niro.
I don't know. This
funny.
movie did not work for me. It didn't make me feel anything, which is sad because I think the original has such a distinct magic to it, and just the
Sure does.
vibrancy of it, and just the overall themes of like Ariel and the relatability comes through more so in that original one. And I'm sure for other people, like I
That's fair.
don't discredit that this one is probably more so than that one for sure.
That's fair. Yeah.
This for me
So we can-
personally, it didn't work as well.
Edgar.
We can move on. We can
Oh.
move on to something highly important in Josh's life, which is the Fast and Furious franchise.
Let's go.
We can't talk about this movie.
Are you watched F9?
What an experience.
It's all right.
I don't like F9.
It's
I'm not a
bad.
huge fan of 9 or 8. I think 8 and 9 are just messes.
It was better
Eight
than
grew
rewatch.
on me.
But...
Eight-
yes.
How did
is
8
so
grow
good.
on you? It's so bad.
Eight,
so
I love 8 the
bad.
same way I love 10. It's just bonkers.
Here's-
insane.
Yeah,
dumb
it's
shit.
just like it's so fucking dumb, but also like it
They're all
actually
dumb.
has some like it has some pretty
No,
fun sequences.
Exactly.
Like that,
Yeah.
like
Don't
that
go there,
sequence in
Edgar,
New
come
York.
on.
And there's
Like, that
actually some
sequence-
heart into it too.
Yeah,
What-
and like
what
the
New York
whole
sequence?
drama about the baby that Vin Diesel didn't know about is just
It's
fucking
melodrama
hilarious.
to the fullest
Stupid.
degree, but it's so
it takes
good.
me out. It takes me out. Like, why is it movie? Because like the reason I don't like 8 and 9 is they're forcing me to care more so than the other movies. Like 8 and 9, you want me to care when he's had his hand against the glass. Like, I will
But you
kill
do care.
Like, I
This
don't
is
give a
Dom's
shit.
child.
No, I don't care about the fucking child because I don't care about the wife. It's like I don't care about her,
That's
the
true,
random
yeah.
cop lady.
A child
who
that was
somehow-
white in that movie, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh god.
This child is like so mixed. There's so many different cultures in him.
So many people still think that's Letty's kid. I'm like, that's not Letty's kid. If you
Nah,
forget,
yeah.
like some random Brazilian cop lady that he got with, that's weird.
Weird, because
Um,
like the sister was white, then or the wife was white, or the mother, and then we see in this movie that her sister was like Brazilian.
I mean, I think they're
Or-
both Brazilian. She introduces herself as like a Brazilian cop in F5.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Or is it F5 or 6? 5. It has to be 5. Yeah.
5.
Because she's like, I know the lay of the land. I know
Oh,
these-
they remind you that this is a Fast 5 connection immediately.
immediately, yeah. With the
By
goofy
playing the
ass
whole fucking ending.
yeah, yes. Spoilers, of course. But in this movie, it's like they reference so many goofy callbacks to that one police room
I
sequence.
loved it so
But
much.
The big guy who turned out to be evil at the end, he was like, I was in the room all along. And they zoom into him. It's like the goofiest.
Come back
movie.
to the ending.
We cut back. I'm like, what
So
are you doing? Stop it. It was hilarious. It was so bad.
This movie is like, it's not good by any means, but I still adore it so much because.
But you
just
gave
made
it
me
5
so
stars.
Happy.
5 stars.
Exactly. It's probably the most fun I've had in a theater like in so long.
Wow.
I was just cracking up with every sequence and just had the biggest smile throughout. This
great.
is the like, it's Fast and Furious, like quintessential Fast and Furious to me.
Yeah.
Like
That's
dumb
great.
shit, melodrama completely.
Can we talk about
makes
the
no
ending?
sense in the best ways. Should we do
Well,
spoilers?
Yeah.
No.
They
but
tried to go full Infinity War.
oh yeah. That
So
cliffhanger
good.
is so. It's so goofy. Like they shove so much stuff in the last 5 minutes of the movie. It's like, oh, the plane's crashing down. Oh, the dam. Oh, I'm like, slow down. Like, what is happening? It's like,
This
much
ends abruptly.
How do you do
It
a
doesn't
fucking
say
trailer for this
like
movie?
to
How
be
do you do a
continued
trailer?
or anything.
No.
You know
It's
what
like
makes
so
the
good.
plane plot so like hilarious to me is the fact that everybody around Tyrese's character, they're all like hyping him up that his plan is gonna work.
Proud of this guy. But, man, that was my main negative for this movie. Like Tyrese's group did absolutely nothing the entire movie.
I mean,
nothing.
And like
They got high.
Tyrese had his special dust that meant nothing and
It
didn't
meant nothing.
wasn't even explained at all.
He had money in his pocket, and then he punched Pete Davidson. I was like, this is crazy. Like they had nothing. Like usually in the other movies, they're ridiculous, but at least they contribute to the plot in some sense. In this one, they contributed absolutely nothing to the whole plot. It was all about Dom in this one. Dom and John Cena's relationship with the son. But yeah, I think I was just so shocked by the end of this. I was like, wait a second, did they do anything in this movie, Tyrese? Like they had the opening sequence in Rome, but outside of that, it was just them traveling the entire movie.
I mean,
It
they
felt
got
very
Jason
odd.
Statham.
Jason Statham, and then he was in one sequence. Then he's like, "Oh, they're going for my mom. I gotta leave," and then he just leaves the movie.
We got to be in Fast 10 Part 2.
Fast 10 Part 2 for sure. Everybody's gonna be in this. It'll be Secret Wars.
Hell yeah!
It's crazy.
Bring back what's a random character? I don't know. Bring back the gang from Too Fast.
I'm about to say it. Yeah, the Too Fast gang with what's it called? Ludacris's
The
friends.
tower coordinated cars.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this more than 9 for
So
sure.
fun.
Because I think
It's so stupid.
Jason Momoa
It's
is the
so
villain.
stupid.
Jason Momoa, even though like the plot is bad, Jason Momoa as the villain works way better than Cypher does. Charlize Theron's Cypher. which I
Oh,
think was
he's like
horrible.
the first villain to actually have character, not just be the most generic thing ever.
I agree. I think I liked previously Luke Evans in Fast 6 was really good. I'm a huge Luke Evans.
Yeah, but he was kind of generic.
He was generic. You're right, but I think
Reyes was stereotypical, like
Reyes is bad. Reyes is very.
yeah.
I didn't even know his name before this movie came out. But like Luke Evans and Statham, 6 and 7, I think are my favorite villains before this one. But now Momoa is like the king because I liked his
He's so
charisma. His villainous ways were very goofy and oddball, but it really worked.
everything he
Real
does
quick,
is,
real
like,
quick.
made me so happy.
Can I make a point real quick?
Sure.
I think it's hilarious that they're probably gonna try to make Charlize Theron's character like one of the good guys after he executed the mom of Vin Diesel's child.
Yeah.
like she is bad. Like she
I
had killed
mean,
him 2
they
movies in
did
a
the
row.
same thing with Statham in 8, and it worked.
Yeah, I think Statham was much more. Yeah,
You probably find a way to explain that wasn't her to actually doing it. It was somehow
Exactly.
Momoa in the costume, in the disguise.
like instantly
which
they tried to
I'll
make
eat it up.
Charlize Theron's character like the good person. Oh, she's an underdog now, but like it just didn't work. That part didn't really work for me. Even though I think
It worked
she's
for
much
me.
more interesting. She was way
Because
more interesting
this
in this
is
movie.
definitely her best look in these movies.
Oh god, yeah, her
She did
hairstyle.
great.
has been-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because her hair has been awful in these
Awful.
movies.
Like 8 was bad with that buzz, with that coconut head looking shit.
And the dreads.
And then the dreads, not great, Bob. And then this one definitely her best hairstyle. And I did, even though it's cliche, I did dig the underdog aspect. I liked her.
I like her scenes with Letty a lot.
Yeah, her dynamic with Letty was very interesting. Even though they got into a random fight, which was really more random than I was expecting. It added nothing, but it was a fun fight. Very, very well shot and fun fight. So yeah, again, I think Charlize is better in this movie than the previous ones. Jason Momoa is a fantastic villain.
Brie Larson doesn't get much to do, but she
do.
Major girl boss vibes, which
Loved
I'm loving.
it. I'm a huge Brie Larson fan. I think she was great in this one as well.
Daniela Melchior, I think is how we pronounce her name, right? She was
really
surprised.
good.
She brought a lot of emotion.
A lot of the heart came from her. I was surprised by that. Yes.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised because like she was so good in Suicide Squad, but I'm saying like for this movie,
for a movie that doesn't
have a
usually
character with this much emotion.
Yeah, I don't really come out of here being like so emotional about a Fast and Furious movie, but you know, for her,
unless it's Vin Diesel saying, "I remember everything about my father."
My father. And Paul is just like, sure. Should we do another take about? Nope. Okay, cool. Yeah, but that was really odd. But I dug it. Overall, very fun time. A fun time with the movies. So I still have, movies like F5, 6, and 7 above this, but this is definitely one of the better recent ones. Better than 8 and better than 9 for me. And yeah. Also, they made John Cena a good guy in this one. I liked his scenes with the sun. Very fun.
He was so good. They just made him Peacemaker, and it worked.
They made him Peacemaker.
He was so serious in Fast 9, and I didn't like it.
And then Josh, he died though. Oh my gosh!
There's no way he's actually dead.
There's no way he's dead. He's gonna be like, "Oh, hey kid, welcome back." It's like no scratch whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
That was the goofiest explosion.
Death is not a thing in these movies,
it's
and
not.
I am fine with it.
How big of a pop? I have to ask you guys, how big of a pop did Gal Gadot get in this?
I mean, I had it spoiled.
0.
And my theater was empty, so 0.
Oh wow, my theater had a huge pop. Like people.
I saw it
Gal
week after,
Gadot. Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. Opening weekend, she got a bigger pop than Dwayne.
What does everyone knew about Dwayne?
I think most of the people knew. Not everybody's reading Twitter.
Fucking Variety or
you're right.
Whoever it was.
But either way, it was a fun post-credit sequence.
I will admit, it will be funny if they actually did kill Cena and we're not gonna see him and The Rock on screen.
Oh,
that'd be disappointing.
Get all 3 wrestlers on the same screen. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But remind me of Gal Gadot.
Get Batista in there. Why not?
Given the plot of this movie, we assume Gal Gadot has been working with Cypher. I'm like, why? Like,
why not? Why not?
She's a mass murderer. Like, wait, you're just working with a mass
murderer.
Hey.
Hey, they might pull a Letty and she lost her memory again too.
Oh,
exactly.
She better have. I'm like, wait, this is Cypher, God's Eye. Like, she's been obsessed with tech and murdering people left and right. But then Gal Gadot was like supposed to be like a hero. I'm like, what?
That's such a weird moment.
It's weird. It's a weird moment. But either way, Cypher loves her submarines, I guess.
That was cool. We got callbacks from all the movies, and I loved it.
A lot of
the location cards and like the submarine coming back, amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the Rome sequence as a whole was very well done.
Oh, it was like so good. Like,
yeah,
I really loved how it was staged. Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far, but it was fun. It was good.
Yeah, this movie fucked.
Yeah. It's a great review. Put that on the DVD, Bob.
I loved it so much.
I always have a blast with these movies. I always bring my friends to go watch these. It's super fun. I would never forget watching F9, hearing 5 minutes of a Baby Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker joke.
It's so good.
Went on forever, but I was in tears laughing. It was so good. It was unforgettable.
See, that's the thing about these movies that like they're not good, but they're just so fun and they're fun to laugh at. I'm
like Yoda. It's like you're just a little pup with a string. It's
Wait,
like,
Fast 10 was the most I've laughed at a movie in so long.
Yeah, it was good.
It's so good.
It was really good. Yeah.
Like I
John?
think that this is like one of the first times they actually knew what they were doing. like,
I
fully
wouldn't go
committed.
that far.
They're fully committed to like being.
Did they?
I don't know.
I
I mean, maybe not Vin Diesel, but everyone else.
How do you market this next movie? Like, so we just got word that they're doing a Rock spin-off movie that's not a connection to Hobbs and Shaw. Poor Jason Statham and Idris Elba there. But like
Vanessa Kirby, I need her back in these movies.
Vanessa Kirby was so good.
She's so good.
I was looking forward to seeing. Like they also teased in Hobbs and Shaw that like we could see, Luke Evans show up as like the other brother. We can see like all the Shaws working together.
I liked Hobbs and Shaw.
I liked it too.
I didn't hate it. Yeah. Definitely better than Too Fast and 4.
Definitely better than Too Fast. 4 is the reboot, right?
Yeah.
4 is kind of boring. So yeah, I think. But 4 we get the great CSI Vin Diesel scene, which is iconic.
Yeah.
Where he's just looking at the road. And he's like,
he becomes Batman.
Yeah, he just becomes Batman. It's so amazing.
Where
he said to vote from
for some
Arkham
reason
games.
like in love with him.
Yeah, that's weird. But so like I thought F11 was going to come out in 2025, but if they're doing this whole Rock spin-off thing, I'm like,
I think it's because of the strike, honestly.
Are they waiting even longer? Maybe.
Yeah.
Did they not write the script for F11 yet? Are they still in the process of writing?
They probably didn't even know they're making an F11 before this.
Well, I think not F12, but definitely with this cliffhanger, they knew they were cooking something.
Yeah.
It's weird. But either way, The Rock has, where does it lead you? Back to me. Like he's doing all these Vin Diesel promotion material now. He's all united with Vin Diesel.
Is it? I also want to say, like, it's fucking weird that the most chemistry this man has in these movies is with Helen Mirren.
Yeah, they have some great scenes together. Yeah.
Like there was so much sexual tension in that first scene.
I wouldn't go that far.
Honestly, good for him. Good for him.
Good for him. But yeah, good movie. 5 stars.
I have to leave soon, but I don't know if you want to talk about Ted Lasso and Mrs. Maisel before I leave.
Let's do it.
Yeah, do
which one you want to do
Ted
first?
Lasso. Let's do Ted Lasso first.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Season,
No spoilers.
Season 3 as a whole, very messy and all over the place, but I think the finale did a good job of wrapping up things and hit some good emotional notes, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I think my feelings about Ted Lasso are kind of the same as Barry, in the sense that I think they needed maybe one extra season to really flesh out some of the plot line and like character dynamics.
I mean,
other than that,
there was a long run time for this season, though.
Yeah, and
Evan, would you believe me if I told you this episode had longer episodes than Succession at one point?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Hours. I mean, yeah, that's why it took me so long to catch up, because some of them ended up being like 55
3 episodes
minutes.
this season that were like hour and 10 minutes.
That's crazy. Yeah, you can't have an extra season with an hour and 10-minute episode.
But it's weird because some of those longer episodes are some of my favorites of the season, so it's weird. Like the Amsterdam episode was incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What were you gonna say, Edgar? Sorry.
No, well, I was saying like again, like I feel like the same way like with Barry, like it almost feels like they crammed like 2 seasons into one for some reason, one reason or another. It kind of makes like the character dynamics feel very rushed. Like Kaylee, 1 second is like dating this random girl that I don't think we've ever met before, and then I don't know where things happen, and like it's just very messy.
It's like it feels like halfway through the season they found out that this would be the last one.
Yeah. That would make sense.
They've been they've been saying since the jump though, like 2 years ago, they were like, we're gonna end with season 3.
Did they though? Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after Ted Lasso season 2, they said we might just do one more. Or at least they primed this for more than they primed this for more than Succession at least.
Yeah,
I thought it was like different though, because I remember when they announced that it was going to be the last season, it was like I felt like it was this year, like early in January or February, and everybody was like, "Huh?"
I feel like it was.
But I don't know. Could be wrong.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
No,
could
yeah,
be
they
wrong.
announced, or they never even announced it. We didn't even know that it was after
just-
the series finale.
Yeah, it was just like very sudden. It wasn't like
And, like,
Barry or
I
Succession.
won't spoil it, but there are ways it can continue.
Well, we didn't
I'm
know
sure that's
Succession
right.
was ending until like a week before season 1 or season 4 started.
No, it was like a month or two before.
Yeah,
It was like January, February.
but also like Succession is like a much different show. Like you can actually,
Yeah.
you could actually end it like, and they did
But-
end it really well.
We knew about Barry ending since season 3. I
Yeah.
know that for
Yeah,
sure.
that for sure. Yeah.
And let's talk about Barry a bit.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying,
actually-
Edgar, but I think it works a lot better than Ted Lasso.
I'm
Oh
on
yeah,
the
it
other.
works much better than Ted Lasso.
I'm also
Yeah.
on the other end where I think I've seen people say the same thing, Edgar, where it's like it could have used an extra season, but given where the story ended, I don't know how you can create an additional 8 episodes of material for Barry to work.
Here's the
with
thing for
here.
me, like I don't dislike the ending, or I don't dislike anything of the plot lines that happen in season 4. I like
Mhm.
everything, and I think Bill Hader's direction and writing like do a lot of heavy lifting. But like for me,
Exactly.
like it's just very like that time jump. Like I like the idea, but I think I would have liked to see Barry's like life like in prison a little bit longer, and like you begin the season with him in prison, and then the time jump happens, and then he's like the super religious guy.
Okay,
And
spoilers
it-
for Barry.
yeah, spoilers for Barry, and like he's a super religious guy, and like it's just like I can believe that this man would like turn to religion if he was put in prison, or like if almost like a way for him to like redeem himself, which that's what happens in season 4. But like I would have liked to see that develop and happen within him. Not
See,
like
I think
not
that's
just
like I get that, but I think that's more of a traditional way of thinking of TV, and I like
Yeah.
that Bill Hader pushed it outside the box and did all of it in one season, and like really committed to showing what's absolutely necessary and not that much excess.
Yeah. So I feel what you're saying, Edgar. But yeah, I also agree. I think that what we got with Barry's arc was very fulfilling, and even though the pacing was a little bit fast towards the end, I think I agree with that. I think Barry's arc, the essentials of it were just perfection. And the main characters like Hank and Sally and Barry. And Gene as well. They all had like very interesting, surprising arcs that just really worked for me. And as a whole,
I
season
love
4's
Gene's
direction.
ending. It's so sad.
Gene's
Gene's arc
ending
is
so
devastating.
It's devastating, but just because Barry as a whole,
It's
this
brilliant.
world, the world
It's
of Barry is
brilliant.
absurd. It's absurd in a real way. It's kind of hard to
Mhm.
explain, but
Kind of like
Bill Hader-
Succession that we were talking the other day.
exactly, right? Like Succession and Barry, they exist in these close to real worlds where you can make some good commentary, but also at the same time, they're slightly absurd in ways that are just hard to nail
Yeah.
unless you're like Bill Hader or Jesse Armstrong. But like this world ending it with just like Gene being classified as a villain and Barry, who murdered a lot of people, not a great guy, ends up being a hero. Was just
Because he was in the
Wow.
military.
because he was in the military.
The commentary is so strong
It
there.
is, it's beautiful, and it's like it's one of those arcs where, as an audience member, it's not forgotten that Barry is a bad person. But
Bill Hader fucking hates Barry.
exactly,
We know that.
Yep.
we totally do. But it works.
you know-
yeah,
Yeah, you know something that I just kind of realized with both Succession and Barry and their endings. I think it's kind of funny how they contrast each other in the sense that both of our quote unquote protagonists in Ken and Barry, like they're like put in a position in the finale where they're trying to get what they want, and Ken
Yeah.
doesn't get anything, and Barry gets everything that he wanted, but he's dead.
Yeah.
he's dead. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great point.
that's interesting.
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, this guys, the decision to end Barry's life with, oh wow, I'm like that is.
It's
Deep
so good.
cinema.
I
That's deep.
like the epilogue, but I would have absolutely loved if this ended the show there.
Just oh wow, boom, dun,
That
dun,
would
dun,
have been
dun.
crazy. Yeah.
That'd have been
That's so
like the
good.
most nuts ending of all time. With
One of the most ballsiest endings.
Yeah, for sure. But also, I'm with you, dude. I did like the epilogue. It felt very it's very fitting, and I was laughing. I'm so glad they didn't get Mark Wahlberg, even though I'm
Jim
like,
Cummings though as Barry was so good.
That was great. And then I was like, wait, did they get Daniel Day-Lewis? No, they didn't get Daniel.
That would have been
so
hilarious.
good.
That would have been insane if they actually got.
If they got Daniel Day-Lewis, I'd be like, this is the best finale of all time, bar none. But regardless, yeah, I love what they did with Barry's arc here. Again, a guy who started off just like crippled by his like military past and that very complex, weird relationship that he had with Fuchs. All the way since season 1. We know Fuchs is not a good guy, but I love what they did with Fuchs this season by making him somebody who was like very much still a selfish character in the beginning, but then, he changes his mind in prison where he wants to protect Barry, but all that does is get him in trouble, and he gets beat to an inch of his life, as he says in the finale, and that changes him to become such a antagonistic and brutal force against characters like Hank, and he wants to kill Barry, and you're just like, oh my god. But then at the very end, the last hour, when he hears about Barry's kid, like a switch goes off in his mind, and it brings back to mind how Fuchs was a part of him, even though he is selfish and he wasn't the best role model for Barry at all. There was still a part of Fuchs that still enjoyed Barry and still cared for Barry, and when he sees the son, that kind of switch goes off in his mind again, that he does care for Barry. And the scene of him returning his son to Barry at the end, oh my god, I nearly cried. It was so emotional for me. I love the Fuchs and Barry relationship. For me, that dynamic will go down in history as one of my favorite dynamics in TV. Just Barry and Fuchs, great stuff. All the way going back to
one or two of like when everything happens. Like that's so good.
It's so good. That scene between Fuchs and Hank, like Hank's last scene as a sense. He goes out on such a strong
Anthony Kerrigan, so fucking good, man.
So fucking good. It's
a shame the comedy category is so stacked this year. Like Barry should be
in a season, dude, where Ted Lasso gets mixed. You would think like, oh wow, this is Barry's time to shine.
You would think, but
Abbott and the Bear are so impenetrable.
Yeah.
Because the Bear
maybe because it's Maisel's last season.
Maisel's last season as well. Exactly. So, but throughout his careers, I like that, Maisel got an Emmy. I like that Barry got an Emmy along the way. Yeah. Ted Lasso got an Emmy along the way. So I like that comedy for the last couple of years has just been very, very good.
Fleabag dominated that one year.
Fleabag dominated that one year as well. Yeah. Bill Hader got an Emmy, so I'm happy for him as well. But yeah, I think Bill Hader's direction this season has been even though it might not be my favorite season of Barry, I think it featured some of his best, probably his best in general direction throughout the entire career. Just every episode, you can pinpoint certain
I'm so excited to see what he does next as a
Me too, dude. Just looking back, Josh, like that horror sequence with Sally in the house, that was
my god, the
so good.
intruder sequence. Oh my god, so
that was gnarly. I had to rewatch that because I'm like, I was a little bit confused by the whole like psychology behind it. And then what's it called? I loved the sequence with Hank shooting the rocket launcher at Fuchs' house.
That's like peak this like physical comedy, man. It's like Looney Tunes type shit.
Yeah, it was so good. It's like, stop, tell them to stop shooting. Well, you fired it out my house, Hank. Like, what do you? Oh man, it was so good.
So good.
And then what else I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, the Barry. There's a shooter on top of the during that whole prison sequence where there was like a shooter shooting all of them with Fred Armisen as well. That was fantastic. Saw things saying Barry prays to
it ain't that deep.
God, indeed, it looks like a form of God takes him out and carries Barry's sins to his death. Oh my God!
I don't know about that.
Huh? I mean, I don't know. Barry is a very deep show. I like that Bill Hader really bought into like the whole religious aspect towards the final episode. Just him scrolling through those podcasts to find justification for his actions was so goofy, but really disturbing as well.
Well, he finally found the one. He was like, "Okay, good, bye."
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Yeah. And also, I mentioned this in our Succession review, but I like that something from season 1 in Janice's death carried through fantastically throughout seasons 2, season 3, and especially in season 4. Like Janice's
Yeah,
death
I
was
love
never
that.
forgotten by the writers, and it really impacted Barry's psychology and his arc. And same thing for Gene. Like Gene, for worse, that moment really impacted him. I'm gonna miss the show so much. It was a
Yeah.
perfect blend of comedy and drama and horror. Oh, that sand sequence, guys, where homeboy is drowning in the sand, screaming
Insane.
for Hank. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, like I was
Give this
losing my
man a horror
mind.
movie.
Yeah, please. Like, there's so many great direction, so much great writing. I'm really going to miss Barry.
Is
Um,
is that the same episode that he kills Cristobal? I think so, right? Is it?
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is at the end of the episode. That argument between Hank and Cristobal. Fuck,
That
man.
shot of
Crazy.
Hank like holding Cristobal before he goes in back into the house. Oh,
Oh my god.
The
fucking
Indian shot of
heartbreaking.
Hank dying with his hand on the statue.
Oh
Oh
my
my
And
god.
then back to the episode where he dies, where you think Cristobal is coming back, but it's just the other dude that kills him. Oh, the fake
god.
out! It's such a good fake out.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, again, I'm gonna miss this show so much. Barry, one of my favorite finales. Wasn't a perfect last season, but when season 2, 3, 1, 4, they're all like 9 out of 10 for me.
Banger, man.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
I have,
we save Maisel for a separate video, Edgar. I want to do a whole like series wrap up for that if you're done.
if you want to, yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause
haven't
that's
rewatched the series in a while, but yeah.
just to put in a few words. Like Maisel is one of my favorite shows ever now, and that finale really like wrapped it up so beautifully.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
real quick, just real quick about Maisel and its last season, like how I was saying about like some of the things that I would have wished to see in Barry. I think Maisel does really well. Maisel plays with the last season of Maisel
It's
plays really well
structured
with
really
with
well.
the structure and like
Yeah,
timelines and like
it's
and
so
I feel
fascinating.
like yeah, and I feel like one of the reasons why they did that is because they that was the only way that you could tell both like stories, both timelines at the same time and make it still
Yeah,
feel like
to really make
satisfying.
it
And
as satisfying as it does by the end.
yeah, and once you get to the final scene of the show, like it's just like so satisfying to watch because you already saw the conflict play out throughout all
Yeah.
of the season, all like what is it, 8 episodes? I don't remember. But yeah, like again,
Yeah.
like that structure is just brilliant.
Yeah, like Maisel season, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but like I fucking love this season, and I am gonna miss this show so much. It was such a unique piece of television, and I recommend if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. It is
How many? How
incredible.
long are these episodes? These hours? 35? What?
5 seasons, hour-long episodes.
Hour-long episodes. Okay.
Evan, keep saying
I'll
it,
watch it
you would adore
eventually.
this.
I know. Yeah, I heard
You
it's
still need to
good.
watch Daisy Jones.
That
I
too.
do.
But maybe not as important as Maisel.
It is quicker though. It is quicker.
That's true. That's true.
And
Um,
Emmys.
And I miss. Yeah, I got to catch up on my
That's
limited
true.
series.
But yeah.
Overall, Josh, did you want to have a quick, recap for
If
Succession?
you're gonna Succession? Edgar, do you need to leave for
Yeah, initially I was just gonna say one last
Okay.
thing. I watched The Boogeyman on Wednesday.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
fantastic. I'll probably write a review for the cinema spot sometime this weekend. It's already written, it just needs to be edited. And yeah, you can find me on all social medias at EDG or TEG. And also, I watched the first Transformers movie, 5 out of 5 movie. I won't elaborate.
Ugh. How dare you?
Bye bye.
What an exit. Peace out, man. Have a good day. Wow. Yeah.
To pick up on Edgar's bit, I also saw The Boogeyman last night.
Well, you
And
did double
it's-
feature?
I did, yeah.
You're a brave soul.
It's really solid. The creature
How's
design
Sophie
is
Thatcher?
terrifying. She's great. The performances are really good. Tris Messina.
He's in this?
Dad. Yeah.
Oh,
Vivian Lila Blair from Kenobi is also
Leia.
great in this.
okay.
Leia, yeah. This is really solid creature horror film. The character design is fantastic. really creepy and very unique. Some of the set pieces are really fantastic. The camera work and color composition or whatever, the lighting, very good. Yeah, very solid movie.
That's awesome. Does the PG-13 hurt it at all, or is it still good PG-13 horror?
Not really. No, you can't really tell.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I like the
This
trailers.
is from Rob Savage, who also directed one of my favorite like small budget recent horror films, Host, which is like a Skype or Zoom.
Oh, I've always wanted
movie
to watch
came out
that.
with an image. It was
It's
so
on
good.
Hulu
And
still, I think.
yeah, and he followed up really good with this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to watch Host, and yeah, Boogeyman has always looked very, very good to me. I like Sophie Thatcher a lot.
It's very like James Wan-esque camera work in this, which I love.
Ooh, really, really selling me on this.
Not
movie.
to the extremes and like as crazy, but there's some good shit in there.
Like the tracking and everything like that. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, again, I'm gonna try and see Spider-Verse as much as I can, but then I'll have some time for Boogeyman. I'm also catching. Have you heard like Sanctuary? I'm seeing that next week as well.
Oof, I'm so excited. I need to see that. Yeah.
So I'm catching some.
And You Hurt My
movies.
Feelings also on the list.
I know. I think that's like leaving my theaters. Like I tried to look at that. It's like one showing per theater now, which is depressing. Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Oh, we have Past Lives soon, though.
Oh
And
yeah, I
that's
cannot
one.
wait to see
Oh,
Past
so excited.
Lives. That looks like
June is going to be such a good month.
I saw like half of the first trailer. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like,
Just Past Lives in Asteroid City alone, like in Indiana Jones. I'm so excited.
I haven't seen a single. I have seen Wes Anderson movies. I saw the Dog movie. What was it called?
That's the only one you've seen?
I think probably the only one I've seen.
You need to see at least Grand Budapest Hotel.
I know. I'm a huge Tony Revolori fan, and I need to see it.
Yeah, and Prince Dispatch are both fantastic.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch. Probably watch Grand Budapest before that, because I've heard mixing about Asteroid City, but it doesn't look like my kind of movie. But I'll give it a shot. I saw a couple other things real quick. I'll talk about The Blackening next time. I think I already did actually, but The Blackening comes out in June. That advanced.
You saw this?
Yeah, I got an advanced screening. It came like a month before the movie came out. It's very fun. Very fun black comedy. It has some good horror vibes. It's predictable.
Did you see that weird? Not to interrupt you, but just one sec. Did you see that weird trailer they put out? I'm not sure what movie.
I hate
they
it.
had the audience reactions with the trailer.
I
It's so
despise
weird.
that trailer. I'm like,
They're so fake too.
my mom. That was in front of a Little Mermaid or something, and I'm like, this looks fake. Like it looks so disingenuous. Just show the comedy. I'm telling you, this movie is very, very, very funny, but I don't need to be justified in how funny it could be with an audience reaction in my trailer. It's so stupid. I couldn't agree with you more, Josh. I
It's a
hate
bad trailer.
bad trailer. But otherwise, yeah, I think Blackening is very fun. Fun cast, fun chemistry, predictable plot, but again, very funny. It's super fun. I can't imagine a lot of people hating this movie. It's just simple, fun, black comedy. But I also saw The Mother on Netflix with Jennifer Lopez.
You saw that?
I saw this.
What are you, Edgar?
I went home last weekend. My mom was like, "What should we watch?" I'm like, Jennifer Lopez. We'll check it out. There's nothing else on Netflix. And man, it is bad. It is bad, Bob. The action is headache-inducing with the amount of edits that they do and cuts. It felt like I was watching Taken 3 again. It was not good. And then the relationship between, the mother, Jennifer Lopez, and the daughter was very weird and cliche and just not written super well. The daughter, I like my dad hates kids in movies, especially dumb kids. This is one of those like dumb kids who just doesn't learn and just like not great, Bob. And then the villain's very one note. Yeah, this is not good, Bob. It's not good. Jennifer's trying her best. Not even I saw shitty movies. I'm beating Edgar in terms of shitty Netflix movies. Oh no! But I did a double feature. Mother, I followed it up later that night with Tetris. I finally caught Tetris on Apple TV.
Solid, right?
I liked it a lot. And this was really fun. Great energy, great creative imagery with the whole.
Surprisingly interesting too. It keeps you enthralled.
I had no idea. Like, it's based on a true story. I assume some of it is over exaggerated, but as a whole, I really like the story. Taron Egerton just continues to kill it. He has
It's
like
great.
never delivered a bad performance.
Single-handedly ended the USSR.
Exactly. Gorbachev, who? It was all Taron Egerton. But yeah, I like that Gorbachev had an influence in this movie as well. But yeah,
That's crazy.
like it gets a little bit goofy towards the end, but otherwise, like I think the whole family dynamic was pretty strong. I think the whole, again, the discovery with Tetris and the back and forth and the globe-trotting aspect and just the whole business. It could have gotten very complicated with the business, but they made it very palatable, very fun, very energized with the storytelling. I bought it. I was hooked the entire time. Like Tetris is a very fun movie. I really hope people watch it on Apple TV. What else did I see? You know me, I'm a huge Gerard Butler fan. I saw Kandahar that probably nobody has even heard of.
Butler?
Gerard Butler.
Wait, what's this movie?
It's called Kandahar. It came out in theaters same day as Little Mermaid. It got buried. It's not great. So it is very similar to Covenant. Like he's a guy.
Oh, the Guy Ritchie one.
Yeah. So this guy, similar to Covenant, like he's in Afghanistan. He works with an interpreter, and they have to get from point A to point B. I'm like, this is Covenant. This is Covenant. But it's not as good as Covenant. I think the action's pretty sloppy. The nighttime scenes are very hard to see. It is very weird. Like it is the epitome of everything that people are talking about with like badly shot nighttime sequences. I think the cat and mouse aspect is pretty solid and thrilling, but otherwise the action's not great and the characters are very dull. Plane is far superior than this in terms of Gerard Butler's career this year. But I'm a huge fan of Gerard Butler. I just saw Geostorm the other day too for the first time.
For the first time. Okay, good. You're not rewatching this movie.
No, not rewatching it. No, it was on TV. I'm like, I never watched this. Let me watch it, and it's not good. But Ed Harris is in it. He's fun. So yeah, Tetris, Mother, Kandahar. That's about it for me. I rewatched Annihilation with my brother early this month, and I love Annihilation. Very fantastic sci-fi horror movie. Otherwise, that's about it. Did you want to end on non-spoilers?
I actually have a few things.
Sure.
To bring up. I finally watched Air this month.
Oh, cool! What'd you think?
Really, really solid sports drama.
Yeah.
A bit ham and cheesy at some points, but the performances are all really good. Ben Affleck's great. Matt Damon, obviously. Tris Messina, fantastic.
Messina again. Yeah. The whole phone call, him yelling at Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I think the bid speech is very cheesy from Matt Damon. But it works, though. It works.
It's so good. Yeah.
Viola Davis has a great monologue. It's really solid and very much best picture contender. I see it.
After seeing it, I'm about to ask. After seeing it, do you still think it has? Do you think could it stretch all the way to
not a win? I could see it winning nom for sure.
Interesting. Yeah. I watched it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll be like, oh.
If Indiana Jones isn't gonna be as big as people think, I could see it being the dad movie of the year. Yeah. Which is like it could be squeeze his way in there like Elvis or Top Gun.
Yeah, Ford v Ferrari was in that list as well. Yeah, dad movies can get a good nom.
I already talked about Evil Dead. I watched The Sun from Florian Zeller.
Oh wow!
I was like, it came to Netflix. I'm still interested in this movie despite everyone saying awful things about it.
And what'd you think?
It's rough. Man. It's rough.
Who's the worst part of this? Who's the blame?
The kid, Zim McGrath. It maybe not his fault, but his direction is horrible. The things he gets to do in this movie, awful shit. And his line reading, oh my god. Not often am I yelling at scenes and asking what exactly is the direction that's going on here. Like it's such a departure from The Father, which was such a tightly directed movie. And the direction is all over the place here. Like, what was going on? I don't get it. It's so bad. Hugh Jackman, he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should have been nominated, which is why I'm glad that fell out.
Did he get any good screaming in this movie?
There's some good streaming, but it's like very melodramatic. Yeah. Vanessa Kirby, innocent. She's great as always.
Innocent.
And it's wild that Anthony Hopkins has only like a minute of screen time, but he steals the whole thing.
That's amazing.
He's so good in this. Is
he the same character as the father?
No. Okay. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it could be if they want it to be, but no.
Okay. That's cool.
But yeah, it's a huge fumble for Zeller.
That's crazy. Going after the father, which is like a near perfect movie to the son. Yeah. It's crazy.
I rewatched Fresh from last year.
Oh, fun.
It's the more I watch it, the less it like holds up because of the shock value. But it's still like I still rewatch it a lot because it's so fun. And the style is so much there. Like the music and the cinematography is great.
Who's the other main actress there? Daisy something?
Daisy Edgar-Jones and Sebastian Stan. Both fantastic in this movie.
Loved her in the movie. Yeah, Sebastian Stan's great. One of my favorite roles from him personally. Just the way he gets like very creepy and just very unsettling. And then great dance sequence as well in there.
Yeah, it's two of the best dance sequences I've seen in cinema lately.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah, the third act kind of loses me a little bit in that movie.
Yeah, it's very much like Get Out light, or it tries to be Get Out so hard, but it's not.
Yeah, it does a little bit too much. I'm like, I wanted it to be at a certain level, and it just tried to do too much towards the end. But yeah, I did like Fresh a lot.
Do you know Clementine Quimmy on Twitter? She does a lot of film edits.
Oh no,
no. She's done a few short films lately, and she had a new one come out called Girl Blunt. It's very much like it's very good. It's about two women who like want to get like who go into selling drugs to get top surgery. It's fantastic. The humor is great, and it's very much like Edgar Wright vibes too.
Oh, I like that.
It's on YouTube. That's great.
Yeah, send me the link. I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. What else did I watch? One more thing. I'd be beginning to be a lot more into musical theater. Like just watching stuff. So I watched Company, like the production of Company, Stephen Sondheim.
Oh wow!
That play.
Yeah,
it's so good. If you like musical theater, it's great.
Have I read Company before? I don't know if I have. Oh.
Then there was the documentary, official original cast album Company, which goes over the making of the cast album for it. It's fascinating.
Is Company the one where it sings "Being Alive"? Is that Company?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good shit. That's pretty much all I have, though.
That's awesome.
Besides Spider-Verse. Talk a little bit about that.
Let's talk about Spider-Verse. So, wow.
Oh wait, I forgot Succession.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because Edgar and I did our Succession review, so we talked a lot about it. But Josh, what are your thoughts on spoilers for the Succession finale?
What more is there to say?
It's peak.
It's one of the best shows of all time, and this finale was pitch perfect in my mind.
It was so gripping. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Nothing happened the way I thought it would, but it's still equally as satisfying as you want it to be. Like Jesse Armstrong is a genius, and all of the ways these characters' arcs come together and end are so beautiful and heartbreaking and tragic, and the performances are insane from everyone across the board, and it's perfection.
I couldn't agree more, dude. Like, I think the way Kendall, Roman, Connor, Shiv, their arcs wrapped up in this final season and in that finale was just perfect for me in the most heartbreaking, tragic, but just so fitting way. I can't get it out of my mind. That last argument between Kendall, Roman, and Shiv in the conference room is forever
heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. It's seared into my brain.
And I'm watching shocking too, like the way the directions goes. Like this through the whole episode, like it's so many twists, but it's also so believable.
It's so believable,
for this
right?
Universe or for this world.
And then Tom, it's crazy how the finale had so many like perfect scenes within it, like meal fit for a king, was just such a heartwarming.
Like, they
joyous
make you so
scene.
happy, like seeing these
Yeah.
siblings get along this well, and then just fucking rip that out.
Yeah,
Take
we
that
should
away from
probably
you.
drown him, right? Yeah, like we can cover that up, right? Like there's so great sibling banter. Follow that up with Roman and Kendall's like disturbing hug in the conference room was, oh my god, that was
Oh my god, where he rips his stitches open, like
yeah,
that is
dude,
brutal.
that was brutal. Such a deep character moment. That's
Like
why
the poison dripping down from Logan on the Kendall,
Big
the
time.
abuse. Yeah.
Speaking of Logan, that beautiful
Oh,
scene
the dinner
with
sequence.
with
Oh
the
my
dinner sequence, the
god.
videotape, where they're all just like, this is Logan's final scene. Now, Logan, who has been an antagonist throughout this entire
Yeah.
series, his final scene in the series is via a videotape where he's just singing about
And
presidents.
it's so effective.
And it's so effective. Just seeing the eyes of Kendall, Roman's tearing up, Shiv patting Roman's back. It's just everybody's so captivated by this, about their father who has left them. It's so perfect. Oh my god. And then Kendall's final walk with the beautiful Nicholas Patel score. God,
Oh my god.
damn.
Nicholas Patel,
dude,
he's so talented.
he's so talented. He's so good. It's just like, I'm like, how can Jesse top himself? How can Nicholas top himself? Like, these are
Jeremy Strong. Like,
Jeremy
oh my
Strong.
God.
These are performances that we'll just never forget. Never forget. These are upper echelon TV iconic performances. Shiv, Roman, Kevin O'Connor, like Logan. Like, these are characters, names that you will forever remember after this season. It was this
because it's us two. How do you think the Emmys race will shake out succession wise?
Oh, you're doing this to me, huh? Drama is a locked bag. It's locked and done.
Oh, locked.
But for
He thrown away. It's that locked.
Yeah, that locked. Yeah, just throw it away. Throw it away.
Actor, I'm hoping it's Kieran.
I'm hoping it's Jeremy now. I go back.
Really?
I go back.
I think like Jeremy's already won, right? Hasn't he?
He sure has for season 2.
And it would be deserved because he's fantastic. But like, I think Kieran did so much more this season and really stepped up. He really brought his fucking all, man.
I agree 1,000, 1,000,000%. Like, I would be the happiest person on earth if Kieran won, but I would also love it if Jeremy won. It's between those two, man. I'm just.
Isn't Brian Cox in lead too?
He's in there.
For some reason.
I put him third, though. I would put him third in terms of contention.
I put, like, if I had to rank it, I could see. I'll say Jeremy, Kieran. Then I could see Pedro being number 3.
Pedro was phenomenal in the last of us. Yeah,
we'll see.
Great point. If he wins, people would be like, "Oh, that'd be the biggest surprise ever." But it would be acceptable because I loved him. I watched season 1, episode 2 of Succession, where Kendall is trying to convince Shiv to vote for him, and he says, "Why are you against me?" And Shiv goes, "Because you lack killer instincts."
From Edgar.
Man, from Edgar Ortega, yeah.
Great contrast with finale. Yeah.
Dude, you're so right. Oh my gosh. That's so brutal. Man. And I love the whole final season where he's like talking to Roman, like, I'm a killer. Like, this job isn't for you, Roman. Like, I'm a killer. It's okay. And then when he tells Roman,
he gets killed.
It could have been you. And then he's the one who gets killed by Shiv.
He gets killed by Shiv.
Holy shit. Yeah, when he's screaming like, I have nothing. I am the eldest boy.
Oh, I am the eldest boy.
He went in a conference room like, what? Dude, yeah, I'm just I'm in love with Kendall. But yeah.
Back to Emmys, Sarah Snook.
Locked. Throw it away. Throw the key. It's Sarah Snook. I think the only there's no contention there. Sarah Snook, Matthew McFadden, locked, right?
Yeah, locked. I think the actor is the only one that's like very interesting.
Actor's the most interesting for sure. Actress, supporting.
I think for directing, they'll probably do Connor's Wedding, right?
Directing Connor's Wedding, yeah, that'd probably be it for sure.
Yeah.
Who is supporting actress?
I don't think it gets it.
I don't think it gets it either.
I think there's a strong of a contender.
I don't know who is the contender. I have to look.
You did say Jerry. You did say
even outside of Succession,
Carolina.
What are the noms looking like for Emmy supporting actress this season?
Let me
Supporting actress drama 2023. Jennifer Coolidge.
Melanie Linsky, or is that guest? Oh,
Melanie Linsky
obviously
lead,
she's winning for sure.
Jennifer Coolidge from White Lotus season 2, Sicily.
I mean, Melanie Linsky for Last of Us, but I think that's more of a guest role, right?
Yeah, I think Last of Us is going to sweep the guest actor and guest actress categories. Cause I can see Bill Murray or what's his name?
Bill Murray or Murray Bartlett, I mean.
Or Bartlett. Wow, Murray Bartlett, or who plays Ron Swanson? What's his name?
Nick Offerman.
Episode 3 from Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
I think those two are definitely going to be winning guest actor, and guest actress can definitely be Melanie Linsky for guest actress. She can get double nominated. If she gets nominated for Last of Us and for Yellow Jackets, that'd be fun. But yeah, HBO, man, it's gonna be running away with guest, supporting, lead. That's gonna be crazy.
HBO, these are HBO awards this year.
It really
maybe
is,
not in comedy, but
deservedly so.
For sure.
Yeah, for drama, yes. But yeah, yeah, that's all I had for Emmys.
Yeah,
we should do an
Succession, incredible episode. Yeah, we need to do a new
incredible episode,
award season episode for sure. Just not. Yeah. There's so little time.
There's so little time, so many shows. You're right. It's ridiculous. Should we end on Spider-Verse real quick?
Let's do it. No spoilers because it literally just came out last night.
No spoilers.
I think, just as a whole, it's fucking stunning.
It's magical. I had a smile on my face the entire time. It's hard to put into words how much I just love this movie. Because part of me is like, I just got out of the theater. Should I be feeling this way? But instantly, like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, this is some groundbreaking animation, beautiful storytelling.
I do have a few negatives, but maybe I just need to rewatch. Sure. I think it's a bit overstuffed in the third act, especially.
Oh, interesting.
It introduces so much stuff, and like, I don't know if I like it or don't, but like the first two acts are really slow and very much reintroduce these characters, which I love. But then they, in the second act, the third act, they like throw so much at you with going to Nueva York and
with the multiverses and stuff like that,
and the whole like of setting up the second movie, and they just do so much. And I don't know. I really need to rewatch because knowing what happens, I think it will sit a lot better with me. But as of now, like the pacing felt a bit off and it felt a bit overstuffed towards the end. But besides that, it is fucking cinematic magic. Like the animation is some of the best we've ever seen, and the music's incredible. It is so good.
Oh my god, the score is incredible. The soundtrack is incredible. Both I think are just masterful. Score and soundtrack are great, and I love the character relationships even more so than in the first one. I think Miles and Gwen had such a powerful relationship with this movie that's just so captivating. Gwen's whole storyline, the animation with her world was very interesting.
Oh my god, the different universes and the way the animation reflects that, like,
it was so good. Shit. And I think like the first one's all about how, anyone can wear the mask. Those are like the final words about Into the Spider-Verse. This one's like, now that you have the mask, how can you be a hero?
Break the mold.
Yeah,
it's also about breaking the mold.
Break the mold.
Such an interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but like it's just such interesting commentary on even like what we're at with filmmaking today. Like it's.
I agree. Yeah, because it's much more, and it's a quintessential Spider-Man movie for sure. But outside of that, it goes into just being good people and being heroes in general. Mm-hmm. As Miles and Gwen and other characters are growing up and going through this complex stages of their own life, on top of that, they have to handle with how do you effectively be a hero. And I think that's nailed so well through Gwen, through Miles, through Peter, through all these other supporting characters. I love Miguel O'Hara. I love Jessica Drew, Spider-Punk. Like all these characters aren't just there to be like, hey, we're cool, but they add a lot of depth to the storytelling. And the
I don't know who
theme.
plays Spider-Man India, but like he's fantastic.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked him a lot too. His world was very fun to watch as well. Yeah, I love the themes. I love the storytelling here. It does end on a cliffhanger, but I feel like as a whole, it still is such a complete movie. I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but my favorite Lord of the Rings is Two Towers, and Two Towers end on like that.
It's mine too. Yeah.
When I oh really cool when I finished watching Two Towers, my dad taught me like you got to go in and watch Return of the King. So it's like one of those movies where Two Towers end on a cliffhanger. You immediately want to watch.
I think like because
this one for me,
of so much they introduced in this, it feels very much like part one, and I don't think it's as complete as some other sequels.
Oh yeah, I disagree. I think if thematically for me,
I need
it
to
feels
rewatch.
complete. Yeah, thematically for me, it feels complete. Obviously, it's not.
Thematically, it's there, yeah.
But thematically, for me at least, it feels complete. And Miles' journey, it feels complete. And I think it can go into so many interesting directions now with Beyond the Spider-Verse. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
there's also
it's not
like
as good as a cliffhanger as Fast 10, but
just not as executed as well.
Exactly,
I will say that.
Yeah.
But there's also themes of like breaking the algorithm, which is like really interesting and not what I thought it would see in this movie, but it's done so well.
Same here, dude. I was very surprised by like what they tackled here with certain characters and certain journeys. Also, this is big on parents, and I adored everything with all
parents are so good. Yeah.
All the parent dynamics, like with Rio and Captain Morales, and then Captain Stacy and Gwen's relationship. Like, oh my god, is so good. Like, and then Peter B. Parker is a father now, so he has some stuff to handle with his kids as well, and just his relationship with Miles has grown and evolved as well since the first one. It's just, oh my god, I was brimming, smiling watching all these new developments. Man, yeah, I just had a blast watching this movie. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to rewatch it so I can pick up on the Easter eggs and just the new character moments and animation bits that I might have missed. Yeah, this movie left.
You tell this like so much care and effort was put into this movie. Like it's so like there's just I don't know, it's so good.
Yeah, all hail to the directors as well. People don't realize how good direction can be in animation, but the direction in this
Kim Powers from Soul and One in Miami was the co-directors on this.
Yeah, Kim Powers, Joaquin De Santos, who worked a lot on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm forgetting the third one, but he was also very good. And all three of them are working on Beyond the Spider-Verse as well, so it's gonna have that like directional continuity.
That movie's gonna go so hard.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's gonna be impossible not to watch Beyond watch Across without watching Beyond next year. So
Justin Tay Thompson was the third.
Thank you. Yes, Justin Tay Thompson.
Who was also worked on Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
Exactly. He had some great credits as well. So yeah, direction, editing, score, soundtrack. I had a blast. And Miles as a character. Great.
Just the character dynamics and like revelations and what they go through in this movie are so fascinating and so enthralling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so emotional too. Like there's some good shit in this.
Deeply emotional. I was shedding a tear at one point. It was really good.
As much as I say like about the pacing, like what we did thematically wise in that third act is so strong.
The third act is so good, dude. I'm just like, I don't want it to end. I know it has to end here. I don't want it to end. I know it has to end here. Like,
yeah. I will say this is very much like Return of the King with like 10 different endings.
Yeah.
There's just so much. And then
there's so many places where I'm like, oh, it can end here. But then it kept on going. But I was ready for like an extra 2 hours, especially with that last shot. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Give me the next 2 hours.
I would have been fine with this, like combine 2 movies into one.
Right? In theaters, 4 hours of Spider-Verse. Like, okay, cool. Yep.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. I agree. But yeah, if people were watching this, they're like, oh, we haven't checked out Across the Spider-Verse. Then do it immediately.
Go see it. Go see
it.
Make
a lot of money. Yeah. It's great. It's great.
This is something new, but I don't want to like preview June. Like, what's your most anticipated? movie and or a show
June, Across the Spider-Verse. No.
besides the ones we talked about? Obviously,
I cannot wait to watch The Idol on HBO. No, I'm not watching it. I know Edgar's doing
I might
it.
hate watching it. We'll see.
Oh no, you're gonna give it like millions of views.
It's only one view. One view.
If everybody says it, it's gonna grow to me. But anyways, June 22nd. You're like, where's Evan on June 22nd? Where am I gonna be at? I'm gonna be on Hulu watching The Bear season 2.
Yes, the Bear.
And I cannot wait. I watched a little
Dropping
bit
all
of
at
the
once,
trailer.
which I don't love.
Not great. Because I love experiencing like when that penultimate episode dropped last season.
Oh my god,
the,
that episode was so good.
episode
The
8,
one shot.
that was trending all week, and people could
Yeah.
like. That's where I think a lot
Funny
of the
is, I
viewers
watched
got
The
onto it.
Bear like a month after it aired, so I guess it's not really.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't watch it fully live. I was like halfway through season 1 when I started watching it. But yeah, The Bear is like my most anticipated TV show. Movie wise, Past Lives I think is it
Yeah.
for me. Past Lives. I'm still excited for Indiana Jones because I'm a huge James Mangold fan.
Yeah, I think it's still to be good. I
did.
did that clip. As much as people shit on it, it felt very much indie.
I haven't watched it yet because I hate clips, but the trailers for me really get me. I really love the trailers. I love James Mangold's direction.
It has Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Like, how can you go wrong?
Exactly. And also Elemental looks. I'm growing.
I am
on
so
Elemental.
excited for Elemental. I'm
growing
excited.
on it. When I first watched the trailer, I'm like, this looks cliche. But
See, the
given
things
some-
about Pixar trailers aren't really the best.
Yes,
I saw a
right.
lot of footage at D23 last year, and it did it for me. Like, this is one of very much a rom-com from Pixar, and that makes me excited.
that makes me very excited because me and you are we're big rom-com fans, so
Mhm.
I can't wait to dive into Elemental and Elemental Past Lives.
I think Asteroid City is mine though, because I'm a huge
Nice.
Wes Anderson fan, and like he's just on such a fucking roll for me. Like all of his
Mhm.
past movies I've loved, and I'm so excited for this movie.
That's great. Yeah, it looks good. Great cast as always. Yeah, I can't wait to
Do
see
we have
it.
any other shows besides Idol and The Bear coming out?
Only Murders is now in August, right? Did I get
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's in August. Yeah, I can't think of any. No.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I can't think of even anime wise, most of the good stuff comes out in July. So for June,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Probably forgetting some stuff. But it's a good catch up month for me. Catch
For
up
sure,
on
yeah.
shows I missed and movies I missed.
Watch Basil.
For sure. That's on the list.
You gotta. But yeah, I think we should wrap it up there. Evan,
We
where do people
should,
find
yeah.
you?
Find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Recently, Nathan and I have been doing Indiana Jones commentaries leading up to Dial of Destiny. So we watched Raiders of the Lost Ark on Tuesday, and we watched Temple of Doom on Wednesday. Love, and I know I'm in the minority. Temple of Doom is my personal favorite of the 4
Really?
Indiana Jones movies.
Really?
I love
Wow.
me some Temple of Doom.
I like it more than most people too.
Yep, great.
I love Temple of Doom.
So yeah, it's
I'd
always a
still
fun-
say it's my third, but it's great.
it's fair. The trilogy is just immaculate. It's just so good.
I still haven't seen Crystal Skull yet.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch all of them before Indy 5 and finally watch that one.
I still remember I was 12 when I saw Crystal Skull. That was 2008 or 7, one of those. I think it was 2007 actually. It could have been 11. But I remember being so confused when I watched Temple of Doom or Crystal Skull when I was a kid. I never really liked it, but it's not one of my favorite movies. But I can't wait to revisit it with a 27-year-old Evan Eyes. See how I enjoy it there. But yeah, doing commentaries. Nathan and I are going to do a big spoiler review on Across the Spider-Verse sometime next week
Of course.
after we see it like 3 or 4 times. And yeah, fun things ahead. Just follow me at HarrisEV9. Always talking about anime, TV, and movies.
And you'd follow our other co-host, Edgar Ortega, at give me 1 second. Let me find his ad.
EDORTG?
EDGORT. So Ed
Got
Orteg, yeah. Ed
There we
Orteg. On Twitter. And also on the Loud and Tweet Reviews and the Cinnamon Spot. Go give him some. Go follow him. You can follow me at Josh D. Woodbury on Twitter for random thoughts and stuff. And follow this podcast at WHFG on Instagram and Twitter for announcements and updates on when we're going live. What's next? I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We're all busy people. Or at least I am.
We're all busy people. As we always say, though, like we have top 10s cooking. We have top 10s in the works. Emmy
Commentaries
stuff in the works. Commentaries for sure. I still want to watch.
Me and Edgar are gonna do a Maisel recap post episode about that. I
still want to watch like a Pixar movie with you guys in the lead up to Elemental.
Yes. Need to figure that out. So yeah. With that being said, give me 1 second.
Pull up the video.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Stalling.
While you do that, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the freaking bell.
All that.
Ring the
YouTube
bell for
shit.
us, all that YouTube shit. It really helps us out. I always love doing
with that. Goodbye, and Heartbreak feels good here.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.